Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zulfikar Nur Mauludy, and I would like to present about the United States of America custom and regulation and travel documents in the USA. And first of all, what is the USA? The USA, or the United States of America, is a federal country made up by 50 states and one federal district in Washington, D.C., and it is in several territories. And as its capital city and is one of the world's most popular destination for tourism, education, and business due to its advanced infrastructure, strong economy, and even cultural diversity. And English is the primary language used across the country. And first of all, we're gonna talk about the travel document one. And the travel document one, to enter the United States, traveler must prepare several important travel documents. A valid international passport is mandatory for all foreign visitors, and depending on nationality, travelers are required to obtain a U.S. visa or an approved ESTA under the visa waiver program. In addition, travelers may be asked to show to return ticket, proof of accommodation, and sufficient financial resources during the immigration inspection. And then these are all the needs that you would bring, such as international passport, U.S. visas, ESTA electronic system for travel authorization for travelers under VWP, and return or onward ticket and proof of accommodation as sufficient financial resources. And then for the immigration regulation in the United States are strictly enforced by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection based on the officers at ports of entry. Although a traveler may already have a valid for visas or ESTA, but the final decision or to allow entry is determined by the immigration officer. So travelers might be interviewed regarding to their purpose of the visit and length of stay or even the financial capability. All the entry records are stored electronically through Form E94. What to bring in the USA? And the first of all, you can bring personal items such as clothing and personal electronics. And then for the cash, you can bring like a 10,000 US dollar without declaration. But if you gonna bring over 10,000 US dollar, you must have with declaration. So if you have no declaration, you can bring that. For the food one, it is packaged and processed food, and the fresh fruit and vegetables are prohibited. And then for the animal product, commercially packaged items only, but unapproved animal product, you cannot bring that. For the alcohol and the tobacco, to alcohol, you can bring up to 1 liter for personal use, but you cannot bring that for excessive quantities such as 2 liters and more. And then for the tobacco ones, you can bring limited amounts. It is 200 for the tobacco for the cigarette, and then 100 for the cigars, but you cannot bring excessive quantities and undeclared tobacco products. And for medication, you can bring prescription medicine. It is in original packaging, and you cannot bring illegal or controlled drugs that are prohibited. And then for the weapon, you can bring, but only with permit and declaration. But if you don't have the permit and declaration, you cannot bring that. The custom one, the U.S. custom regulation. Upon arrival, all travelers must comply with U.S. custom regulation. This include declaring goods brought into the country, such as food item, commercial products, and cash exceeding 10,000 US dollars. Customs officer have the authority to inspect baggage, to prevent illegal import, and to protect public health and national security. And failure to declare item may be result in fines or confiscation. So in terms of baggage regulation, passengers are allowed to bring clothing, personal items, and even electronic devices in both carry-on and checked baggage. And liquids in carry-on baggage must follow on TSA rules with a maximum of 100 milliliters per container. And medication for personal use are permitted, especially when kept in original packaging. And all baggage remain subject to security screening and custom inspection. So the traveling to the United States requires a careful preparation and compliance with travel documents and requirements. And immigration procedures, customs are declaration, and baggage regulation. And travelers must ensure that all the documents are valid and that prohibited items are not carried. And by following all these regulations, travelers can experience a smooth and lawful entry to the United States. Okay, so that's it for me. Thank you and goodbye.